our webpage has tons of stuff. Our bulletin, which you can find on the webpage, has even more. For now, just several very quick things. One, please, if you're watching this before you go to bed on Saturday, don't forget to change your clocks. Secondly, I should probably highlight this shirt. I am not a person who likes to go to stores. So I go online, just get the same basic black pair of pants. I didn't notice that this one had a pattern. This is not my attempt to look cool. I'm way past that as a possibility. And three, in terms of the little things for Halloween, last week, if you tuned in, you might have noticed what my costume was going to be. But this morning, for helping out before and after the 7:30 Holy Day Mass, I really couldn't wear donut shorts to have a basketball with me in church or giving out communion. So I had a second costume. It's terrifying. Now, not for kids. It's terrifying for adults. What do you think? Terrifying, I am sure. All right, of things much more significant. Please, if possible, vote. And remember, most importantly, that we're in this together. Whether our candidates win or lose, may we be kind and may God guide our whole nation to move us in a way that will more closely bring about that kingdom, that dream that burns in the heart of Jesus for all. Secondly, normally we only post the live homily on Sunday nights around 7. I don't know why we picked that time, but we did. This weekend, we're also going to post a live homily on Saturday night. That's because on Saturday night, we're going to bring in our book of remembrance. I'll say more about this in a bit, but it has the names of loved ones who've died in a lovely, lovely ceremony. So we want people to also be able to see and hear that ceremony and the music and the prayers that go with it. All right, and now to now. Perhaps many, if not most people, know the term Death Star from Star Wars. Our gospel question: what do you know about the North Star? Thanks for joining. Here's the homily. Before the invention of the GPS, those who sailed the open oceans had to find something by which to navigate. Now, if they were close to the shore and in known waters, they could find recognizable landmarks by which to guide their ships. But if they ventured out into open waters, right, and open seas, those weren't available. So trying to find something that would help, they observed an important truth. Because of the Earth's spin, stars seem to travel across the sky in kind of a circular arc. But the North Star remained fixed. So travelers have a long time made their way by the North Star. It was the North Star that kept them on track through all the long and lonely nights, right? The North Star also became a beacon of freedom for slaves who were stolen from their homes in Africa and brought to America. They recognized that same North Star in the skies here. And if they were able to try to make their way to the Underground Railroad, the North Star would be their guide on their dangerous trek towards freedom. To find our way in this life, we too need a North Star. We need to orient our lives by a light, a wisdom, a goodness that is bigger and brighter than all the other stars that seem to want to lead us, right? All those other things that seem to have calling power over our decisions. Crucially, today's readings from both the Old and New Testaments give us our North Star. They name it this way: You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. That's it. That's it. Love God and love one another. That is our North Star to guide our living. And our scriptures not only name our North Star, they tell us we can only have one of those, right? One. Otherwise, like a ship at sea trying to follow more than one star, we get lost, being pulled here and there until we go over the proverbial edge, right? There is just something that has to help us orient ourselves and transcend the swirl of emotions, temptations, and trials of any particular moment in time. Without a higher power, so to speak, right? Without a North Star to guide us, you and I live lives, well, we just won't. We'll live lives that are authentic and true, really. We'll be like bottle rockets without a stick, just shooting everywhere, right? This wisdom teaching of Jesus, our North Star, guides our daily living and gives meaning to our lives. It does so when we're stressed or scared, on an ordinary, boring day, at times that we're joyful, even delighted, in times of heartache. Always, the North Star will guide us rightly. This was true for Jesus as well. Jesus clearly knew that he too could only do what he did by staying true to his North Star, the one he named for us today. His staying true to his deepest connection with God and with his commitment to love God's people. His North Star that he knew he needed. You and I, and sometimes we get a bit off track, of course, and need to reorient ourselves through prayer and right thinking and the support of other believers. We need to again and again reorient our lives, really, to our North Star. This weekend we get a special blessing in this regard. We remember the wisdom of those who have gone before us in death, who are now pulling for us from the other side. On Saturday night, we're going to bring in this book. It is our book of remembrance. We're gathering names of loved ones who have died. My goodness, this book is filled with important names. Oh my gosh, yeah, even just glancing through it, right, there are, of course, the names of others who we didn't get a chance to write in here as well, who are pulling for us from the other side, but there are names of children who died too young, right? Moms and dads and grandparents who've loved us, taught us, coached us, let us go. It holds the names of brothers and sisters and cousins and friends, all whose lives have changed our lives. And the question then is, what wisdom would they have for us today? From their vantage point in the life beyond this life, what would they encourage in us for the remainder of our days? You know, if I think about what my dad hopes and prays for me from the other side, what my mom would say, or my other relatives and friends, I believe that of all the things they would pull for me, the number one thing for all of them would be that I would follow the one true North Star. That I, in my days, would love my God, and that I would love God's people now. I mean, the reason I believe that, I really do believe that from what they clearly see now, is that that is what will lead me to a joy-filled and meaningful life. They want me to know joy and have meaning and have a vibrant life, and to have a North Star for the difference it will make in my life now, to help that be real in advance of the day that I am again united with all the holy men, women, and children who have gone before me, that I follow that North Star, that is Jesus and his way. That is what they are hoping for me, because they get it and they love me. Like the ancient seafarers who knew they needed a North Star, like Jesus, who also knew that profound and important wisdom, may we to this day remember again that being guided by our loving God to love one another is our North Star. And that is what will lead us to life and love now and forever. That, I believe, is what all of our loved ones who've gone before us in death are praying for and hoping for each of us, and with all their hearts.